Jazzcast Pros.
Starting a business can seem like a daunting task, unless you have a partner like Shopify. They have the tools you need to start and grow your business. From designing a website to marketing to selling and beyond, Shopify can help with everything you need. There's a reason millions of companies like Mattel, Heinz, and Allbirds continue to trust and use them. With Shopify on your side, turn your big business idea into... Sign up for your $1 per month trial at shopify.com/special offer.
Welcome to The Spiritual Shortcut, the podcast to help you realize that you are in fact your own healer and that you can learn to release the invisible anchors that might have been holding you back. I'm Amanda.
And I'm Kristy.
And we'll be your guides on this journey. This week, we're joined by Serena, who is a human design educator. She's going to do a reading for Kristy. And just to give you a super fast synopsis of what human design is for those of you who are not familiar with it, like Kristy.
Like me, yes.
Yeah, that's right. It's a self-awareness system. It combines astrology, the I Ching, the Kabbalah, the chakra system, and quantum physics. I find it super interesting because all those things individually are very deep awareness systems that, you know, you can do a real deep dive down a rabbit hole with each one individually. So human design feels to me like it's tenfold.
Yeah.
So basically it reveals your energetic blueprint so that you can help understand how you're wired, how you make decisions. There's certain processes that different aura types have, how you best interact with others, and how you can align to your true nature so that you can bring greater clarity, ease, and flow into your life. So I find it to be a wonderful resource for understanding self and how I am in the world. Yeah, so that's why I see it as a bit of a spiritual shortcut.
And why you thought Serena would be a good fit for the show.
Yeah, definitely. We go a little bit into how we met and all that kind of thing. So
shall we listen?
Welcome and enjoy. We're back for another episode.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
And we've got Serena with us today because Serena is incredibly knowledgeable human design.
Educator, empowerer.
Empowerer, yeah. Like I met Serena, a couple of months ago, not even, and we were doing a workshop. I won't go into the who's and what's right now. That's a whole huge conversation. But we were around a campfire a few nights in a row and listening to you, I was just like, I know so much more listening to what you were telling people about human design and telling me about my human design as well. Because of the nerd that I am, I had my laptop and I had my chart on there and I got to show it to you. So that was super cool. We did nerd out a bit together, which was fantastic. And then I asked Serena to please come on, and she's very kindly prepped Kristy's chart because Kristy knows very, very little about human design.
Well, not very little, nothing. I know the name and that's it. So I'm excited because I have no idea what we're about to do.
Yeah, I'm excited too in the exercise of watching Kristy learn about this. So welcome, Serena.
Thank you. So human design it's come in 1987. It was basically a download, and they chose a manifestor or a type to deliver this information into the world, and you'll understand what a manifestor is soon. But we've been gifted, I believe, at the right time on the planet with this information that helps us get to know who the fuck we really are. And you know, we're going through this age of Aquarius now where everyone's like, oh, what I've been conditioned to operate and do is not really hitting the mark for me. There's more like, who am I? What's my bigger purpose? And we're all going down different rabbit holes trying to figure that out. Me, myself, I have been a hair and makeup artist. I've been a salesperson. as I was deeply getting to know who I was through my human design chart, and eventually it all clicked. Now I can understand that I am designed to share wisdom and knowledge and teach it. And so human design has been the most impactful thing to really activate and let my gifts fly. I just love yapping on about it to anyone that will listen.
We will listen to your yapping today.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited to hear it.
So, Kristy, I'm going to go over the aura types for you. So, human design gives you 4 aura types, and there's like a sub aura type. And I'm going to go over those first. And for anyone listening, you'll understand the basics of what they are. It's important to understand what they all are so you can understand how you're different. Because we're taught that we're all human, we all do this, we all do this, we all do this. But we're all so different. So human design is the science of differentiation. So the science of how we're all different. So we're going to start with the basic. Human design is made up of 5 different aura types, and I have them right here. We've got generator. Generators are 70% of the population. And if you look at the little diagram here, I'm going to take my little arrow over to the sacral. So yours is coloured in. So that's what makes you a generator. So generators and manifesting generators make up 70% of the population because you have that defined sacral. That allows you to generate a lot of energy. And what that means is having a defined sacral is you have a consistent energy that you need to exhaust every day doing things that you love.
Yep. Oh, I really do.
I'm a generator too.
I am as well.
I know what it's like. You are too. All pure generators.
Yep.
And we can all remember times where we were maybe doing jobs or things that weren't very fulfilling and we're like, what the fuck am I doing here? This is so unfulfilling. Because we're taught to get a job, just be a good little working cog in the system. Everybody is conditioned to be a generator, a really slave-like, unfulfilled generator. Side note, human design is a system that reconnects you to your body and how it speaks to you. So anyone with a defined sacral is going to have their body saying yes or no to things that light them up. Let me just go over to the aura side of the generator. So you've got that defined sacral. The aura, so you're aware that we have this energetic body, an aura. Mm-hmm. The generator's aura is very open and wide and enveloping and attractive and warm, and life and things are attracted to it, okay? So things are going to be coming towards us. And it's our job to listen to our body's response. That's what it means by the strategy is to respond, okay? Always listening to how things feel in our body. Is our sacral going, fuck yeah, woo, I want to do that? Or is it like contracting? Is it like, I don't want to do that. Why would you even suggest that? Like, no, that's not me. Or sometimes it's a bit more of a maybe, but this is probably the one thing, if you were to walk away to integrate with human design, it would just be the one thing, and that would just be getting to know the way that your sacral communicates to you. Because generators are the prime people pleasers because everyone wants our energy. They want us to do things for them. They want us to use our energy in ways that is not really in alignment. So it's easy to say, oh, yeah, okay, I'll do that. But really honouring whether it's a yes or a no and communicating that is key to freedom for a generator.
Yeah, wow.
Okay, so that's generator. And then we have manifesting generator, which also has a defined sacral. But what they have is a motor centre that is connected to their throat. So I'm going to point to all the motor centers. We've got the will center, emotional solar plexus, and the root and the sacral. They're motor centers. They're energy centers that make us move. Manifesting generator has one of these defined motor centers connected up through a channel to their throat center. which means they're consistently expressing what they want to manifest. Manifesting generator. They're manifesting it, generating it, because they have that consistent connection to that throat center. So manifesting generators, they still do have that open, warm, inviting aura, but they're also a hybrid. So they've got that manifesting part and that generating part. So, yeah, they have their own non-linear, multitasking, multi-passionate powerhouse people that just do things in their own non-linear way. And sometimes people are like, you're crazy. Why are you doing that? And they're just like, because I'm going to do it, because this is the way I want to do it. Maybe they're brushing their hair and cleaning their teeth and getting dressed all at the same time. And they're just these multi-passionate powerhouses that can be labeled ADHD, you know, because they're just like, oh, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this. And that's just the way they do things.
So the first red one, the round one, that's a generator, is it? Oh, look at that. Yeah, okay.
Now we're going to go over to projector, which is...
That's it. The green one is the projector, which is my son, Phoenix. Kristy.
That's right. So projectors are about 20% of the population, and they have a very special role here on planet Earth at the moment. They are the natural counselors and healers because they have a special way of seeing. It's got this pointy aura that is, it's actually very focused and piercing. And so their aura will see straight into you, and sometimes they can see people more accurately than people see themselves. They just have this special energetics that see right into people, and they can see what they need. And their role is to guide and teach and educate and empower and provide healing when someone recognizes them. So when someone comes into their field, they might have someone, all of a sudden they're venting all their problems all over them because they have that healing energy. And they might know exactly what to say, but unless that person has said, hey, can you help me with this? They can say something, but unless that person has shared with them that they are ready and open to receive exactly what that projector says, they really need to wait for the invitation. So they have this gift of seeing how people can improve their lives, how businesses can improve things, and if they are not operating in alignment or as themselves, they're not going to feel very recognized. They're designed to want to be recognized for their guidance and for their ability to see and guide. So sometimes they can fall into this like, me, I've got the answer, like I've got the guidance, and they might end up just bluntly sharing with people what they see or giving out advice to lots of people that didn't ask for it. And then what they're met with is resistance and probably some backlash and maybe some conflict and lots of triggered people. So it's really a journey that projectors need to go on to really embody who they are and get them around in the right environments and the right people that really see who they are and call on them for their guidance and wisdom. Does Phoenix help you sometimes, Amanda?
Yeah, definitely. He's quite the deep thinker, so he has that level of understanding.
Yeah, beautiful. Cool. So we'll go back over here to Manifestor. Is the arrow on Manifestor?
Yes.
Yeah, cool. So manifestors are 9% of the population. And I forgot to say, projectors, reflectors, and manifestors are non-energy types. They do not have a defined sacral like the generators do. So that's what makes them non-energy types. They're not here to go and go and go all day. They're here to do other things. So manifestors are one of these non-energy types. My daughter is a manifestor. Manifestors have a smaller, sort of closed, very dense aura, and they're here to basically move through life like a freight train. And really, they are here with the gift of impact. They have this dense aura, this impactful aura, because it protects their big visions and their role to really shake things up, get things moving, get things initiated. And that can sort of be perceived as a bit chaotic. So they have this thing that helps them, and that is to inform whoever it may affect, in their environment, to inform them of what they are about to do. So that person can respond and say, oh, well, you haven't thought about this, or cool, I'm not into that, I'll get out of your way, or yes, I want to support you, I'm on your train. So this is what manifestors have to learn, is to inform their environment as what is about to happen, what their intentions are. And manifestors can be quite a lone wolf. So their aura type is quite confronting and pushy and abrupt, and they don't have this mechanism like generators that take things in and then respond. They impact their environment, and the environment responds to them. So they can be perceived as inconsiderate or rude or what, and they do learn through their impact and interactions. They do learn about themselves and about life in a different way. They learn from impacting and then people responding back to them. One of my famous manifestors is Jennifer Lawrence from Hunger Games.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, we'll jump over to reflector.
I find reflectors so fascinating.
Yes, well, they're only 1% of the population. They have this very open aura, and it's the word sampling is because they have such a sensitive, open aura. It's like this inbuilt sort of protection where they're sampling different energy and different environments to see what they want to absorb and take in and mirror back. So they don't have any defined centers in their chart. They have activated gates but no channels. That means they're going to sort of become part of their environment in a way. They just take it all in, and it's really important for reflectors to choose their company wisely because they don't have a consistent sense of who they are. They are the most conditioned energy type because we're conditioned to know who you are, know what you want to do, know this, know that. And they've got no defined energy centers, and they're just like testing everything and figuring out who's worthy of their energy and living this more non-linear experience. And so their role is to be a beautiful mirror and reflection back to humanity. And through that reflection, we get to see what we can work on as an evolving species. So have you seen Teal Swan, by the way?
Yes,
Teal
I have.
Swan on YouTube. She's a reflector.
Right.
I love her sense of humour. She's never too serious. She's got that really queen-like gift of, yes, I'm in my role as guide, as educating humanity, which is really fascinating to see. And I do know a couple of reflectors in real life, not too well, but very beautiful people that just see you. They just take you in completely and reflect back love. And, I mean, that's been my personal experience anyway.
Yeah, nice. Are these ones that actually know their human design and they're aware of it? So, because I found once you learn how you function, your behavior changes and shifts so that you can take that into consideration when you are relating to other people, especially.
Yeah, the two reflectors I know, they do know they're reflectors. So they're very well-rounded in themselves. Yeah, they know.
Yeah. Yeah, lovely. Because I can imagine being a reflector who's unaware, being so open, it could be a really major problem. They can be just absorbing everything and believing anything.
Yeah, they could be influenced by the absolute wrong person and it could destroy them. Yeah, like maybe there are people out there with absolute severe mental illness and they're a reflector, Yeah, so, I have hope as we go through this evolution, more and more people will start to understand who they really are and can free themselves from conditioning. Because as we're all aware at our own level, the world is developed is this control mechanism to keep us all a smaller version of our own consciousness. But we're being gifted with more and more things to help us. I don't like the word transcend, but we're evolving and the earth is evolving. But human design is this system that helps us really integrate into the human, descend into the human first properly before our frequency 5D, however you see it. We really have to integrate properly as a human first. That's my belief anyway.
I agree. Even if you look at it from the perspective of moving up through your chakras, and you start at the root, which is all about grounding. So you've got to be grounded in the human before you can reach out and be something bigger and, energetically bigger, as above, so below.
Definitely, yeah.
Looking for a smarter way to reach your ideal customers? Talk to them while they're already tuned in. At Jazzcast Pros, we connect brands like yours with engaged, growth-minded listeners who actually want what you offer. Our audience is made up of entrepreneurs, decision makers, and change makers, the exact people who invest in their future. With targeted ad placements and authentic storytelling, we make sure your brand gets heard and remembered. Let's get your message in the right ears. Visit jazzcastpros.com/advertise today.
Every idea starts with a problem. Warby Parker's was simple. Glasses are too expensive. So they set out to change that. By designing glasses in-house and selling directly to customers, they're able to offer prescription eyewear that's expertly crafted and unexpectedly affordable. Warby Parker glasses are made from premium materials like impact-resistant polycarbonate and custom acetate. And they start at just $95, including prescription lenses. Get glasses made from the good stuff. Stop by a Warby Parker store near you.
So we're up to Reflector, and we're going to go back over to Kristy's lovely body graph. Okay, Kristy, so you're a generator. So tell me what lights you up. What excites you about life? What do you love to do?
I love to be excited. And lots of things excite me that don't excite other people.
Yeah, that's a really, really good start. And I find that people on a self-development journey start to do their own sort of deconditioning. They start to go, that thing doesn't fit me. I'm not holding on to that anymore. And they start to relearn what they love in life.
Yeah. So I'm on this big journey of 2 years ago, I discovered aerial artistry. So I've been doing Lyra for a couple of years and I just love it. And it's been the one physically painful thing that I've turned up to class after class. And so that and circus and just even really good food, I love to be excited. Amanda's laughing because she sees and talks to me every day, but it's she knows what I'm like, highly excitable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love that. So you have a good connection to what lights you up. So what I want to go over now is your motor centers. So you have one motor center there. Do you feel like sometimes you lack willpower, or it's not a lacking, but how do you find your energy dips and flows?
I'm either flat out or I'm burnt out. And that's been the last couple of years of just going and, generating all this new stuff in my life. And then all of a sudden I can't get out of bed because I'm so depleted. So I've had to kind of go on this big journey with trying to find some balance in my life.
Yeah, that is a great reflection of your design because you have the sacral defined, but you don't have any other motive centers defined. So that is beautiful that you are supporting yourself to create the ideal balance for you and just saying yes to the right things.
Yeah.
And honoring that you are a generator, but you have access to your amount of daily energy for the right things at the right time. Do you have kids?
Yes, I've got 3 of them.
Are they like teenagers or?
I've got one who's nearly 18, and then I've got 15-year-old twins that both have disability. And so they're pretty still high needs, and things are pretty hectic.
Yeah, wow. That's a challenge. And do you have a partner at home, or is it just you?
No, just me.
Yeah. Honouring that challenge that must be at times.
Yeah, thank you.
For sure. You've got a good gauge. Yeah. So I think one of the things I love about human design is the level of compassion you get to develop for yourself once you understand the nuances of your design. So next thing I'll go over is your profile lines. You are 6'2".
Mm-hmm.
So where we take those numbers from is up here. We've got this lovely list of gates in black, and on the other side, I've got this lovely list of gates in red. So up the top here, we've got 47.2 and we've got 5.6. So these line numbers is where we take your profile from. So this is your conscious sun and your unconscious sun, which is very prominent in your design. And we take those line numbers. It gives you sort of character traits of your design. 6 is your conscious line. So you're on a journey to become a role model. And what that means is just by existing, you're going to be a radical example of how to be yourself in the world. And you'll naturally empower other people to do that too. So how do you get to become a role model? You've got to go through stages as a 6 line to become a 6.
Mm-hmm.
It starts off as a 3, especially before the age of 30. It's a 3. So what's a 3? It's the martyr, and it's trial and error.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a 1-3, so I know all about this. And do you have a 3 in your profile, Amanda? I think you do. 3 is all about bumping into things, learning through trial and error. It's about bonds made and broken. It's this ultimate alchemist energy that's like, it's like Homer Simpson. It's like, yo.
Yep.
I know this so deeply and personally. Like, it's just this martyr energy that they call the 3 line. It's like, why is this happening to me? Why is all these painful things? Like, why? How did that happen? Like,
Initially,
especially
though,
in relationships.
Yeah. Well, initially though, you go in and it seems fine, right? And then all of a sudden you see something that you didn't see before. It's like, oh my God, like, why am I here? How did I get here? And it's like, you put yourself here, Kristy. Like, you did this to yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It comes with this gift of going, how can I never let that happen again?
Yeah.
Like, that did not work for me. Anyone with a 3 line, and of course there's lots of line numbers there. We all have a taste of this 3 line, but if it's prominent in your profile, you really know that you're here to bump into life, and that's how we learn. And so we've got this trigram of all the profiles. We've got 1, 2, 3, and in the upper trigram we have 4, 5, 6. So the 3's in that lower trigram where we're still really learning and fumbling through life. And I'm a 1-3, so I'm like a baby that just crawls through life.
Yep.
Oh, gets up, oh, falls back down again. Oh, let's try something a different way. It's this experimental energy. The 3 is experimental. So it's bumping into things and it's experimenting, and it is conscious, by the way. So with this new knowledge, you'll realize, oh, I'm about to experiment, and then you'll have no expectations on how it turns out because all you want to do is experiment. And then if things don't work, you're like, okay, perfect. This is what I'm taking from that experiment. This is how I'm going to experiment further in a different way. And, the earth is the 3 line. All the experimental medications and the production of technology and all the things. Everything is an experiment. So go over to your unconscious profile line is a 2. 6-2 is basically like sort of 2 sides of your personality are continuously oscillating between. So people will go, oh, am I extroverted or introverted, and we are neither and both. We are all neither and both. So 2, though, 2 is a hermit, and I like to call it the gifted hermit. Sometimes you just want to be in your hermit space doing what you want to do. There's certain things you're really natural at doing. So in the levels, we've got 1, 2. 2. You've got 1 as a foundation, then you've got 2. 2 comes out as this natural. Like I can naturally do certain things just really well. And other people are like, how are you doing that? And I'm like, I don't know, just do it. And there might be times people recognize this, whatever you're doing really well, and they're like, hey, can you do that over here? Or can you teach that over here? Because that's useful to my community. For example, like my daughter's a 2-4. She's got that 2 line. She played footy at school. And they're like, oh, you're really good. Can you come and play footy for the out-of-school team? So that's a natural function of the 2 line. So with a little bit of that being said, what are you good at?
Yeah, I think, do you know what is coming up over and over again? And I've always put it down to having that healer's energy, but people just seem to open up to me, like people that wouldn't normally. And then all of a sudden they realize that they're doing it, and it becomes like this, oh, like I must feel okay with you. I must feel comfortable with you. But like I have had that happen my whole life, even before I stepped onto, and into the work that I'm doing now.
Yeah, Kristy's really good at communicating with people, making them feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And
I love that. And I want to bring your awareness, since this has come up, over to a few gates where these traits actually come from. Because I have these too. So I'll just quickly bring you over to this middle diamond. So this is G center. So the only gate you have activated is gate 13. So this is the listener. This is the space holder. This is come to me with your stories. I will hold a safe space for you, and I will not tell a soul. And it is safe for you to just vent whatever is on your heart, and people will energetically recognize that and tell you. Because that used to happen to me, whether I was in the supermarket or wherever. And then I learned about that in my design, and I'm like, I just love that. I love being a safe space for people. And then another lovely sort of healing gate is over in the emotional solar plexus. You have gate 6, which I have as well. Gate 6 is half the channel of intimacy, but what it means is this energy that is able to hold and move through conflict back to peace. So it can erupt into conflict, which is a shadow, or you can hold it and go, no, I'm going to hold this energy and I'm going to transmute it and find a way back to peace through this, whoever you're interacting with, whether it be your kids or ex-partner or whoever it is. It's this strength that say, no, we're going to move back towards peace. And it's able to hold a lot of depth and emotional energy to do so.
Yeah, right. It just feels like something that I've matured into. Yeah.
100%.
It was probably in its shadow in the early parts of my life, and I think I've done so much work now on communication and made that a priority to learn about that I've now been able to kind of open up that other side of it.
Beautiful. Yeah, I definitely relate to that too. We tend to be more in our shadow frequencies, but as we naturally do work, we do unlock the potential in our design. So,
Serena, so the 6 then it leads across to, is that 59? How much does that have to do with it? So I can see it's only halfway and 59's not activated. How are they interrelated?
So 59 and 6 makes channel of intimacy. This is responsible for children making. This is responsible for the way that we procreate. If we didn't have this channel, we wouldn't procreate. So it's all about connection and intimacy. So the 6 is all about the friction. So you could call it emotional friction, conflict. What happens when we make children? There's this rubbing together. There's this friction that happens in the body to make children. So the 59 is the intimacy catalyst, and the 6 is the ability to really hold that vulnerability and move through that conflict to allow that deep emotional vulnerability that is required for children to be made and for real connections to happen. So if we look at 59, it's got dishonesty, that's the shadow. Dishonesty, the gift is intimacy, and the highest frequency of 59 is transparency. So you can see how that works with 6, who's willing to, can possibly break out in conflict, but also has this inbuilt like, no, I'm not going to let this fly off the handle. I'm going to sit with this and really find a way to communicate and bring this back to peace. And it could be in relationships with people, or it could be this conflict within yourself. Does that make a bit of sense?
A little bit.
It's a bit of a new language when you first start. But basically what it means for Kristy is that you'll experience a 59 inconsistently. So if someone comes into your field and they have the 59, you guys will have this natural connection.
Ah, okay.
Because I've experienced that self. Oh, you have that, Amanda?
Yep.
Yeah, beautiful. I did remember feeling that when we met. I was like, this just feels natural. So, yeah. And then as soon as that person goes away, it's gone. But when they're in your energy field, it's really there. And I feel like it's here in this room because 1 degree of separation.
Yeah.
Right? If you learn more about Gate 59, you will lean into it. You'll naturally be given life experiences where you can pull wisdom and expansion from that. Wherever we are white and undefined in the center is where, through life experiences and through interacting with other people, we'll gather wisdom and expansion.
Right. And does it change as you get older, or is it set in stone?
It stays the same. What changes is as different gates and planets are activated, that's sort of flavoring the energy in the background with the transits, and sort of we take that on. It's not as strong as if it's in our design permanently, but yeah, we do play in that energy with the activations. Yeah, so the beauty of human design is that your chart is fixed and permanent for this lifetime. So you can distinctly see where specific learning opportunities are. You can look at each gate, learn about it, and say, how am I going with the energy of this gate? Am I in the shadow? Kind of lean into the gift. And you start to just naturally lean into yourself more and unlock more of yourself. And now could be a time to mention gene keys, where I've used gene keys to really deepen and unlock each part of my design further.
So is there a
maybe
crossover?
That can be a different podcast.
Yeah, but do they cross over, do they?
Yep.
They do. So
Right.
Richard Rudd, the founder of Gene Keys, he used to be a human design teacher, and then he ended up having a separate elusive sort of intuitive experience where he also downloaded the Gene Keys.
Yeah.
So it's a different kind of mapping system. He's got specific audios for each gate in human design, which gives you a shadow and a gift and a city of each gate that you can learn about to help unlock each part of you. Very powerful to use them over the top, but takes time. No need to rush. Just learn to listen to your sacral.
Thank you. Yes, I will. Yeah, wow.
Yeah, I discovered human design in 2019, and then I didn't start really seriously integrating with it until like 3 years ago. And so I've just been developing the realization and confidence that I actually teach this stuff naturally. And so
wow.
It's my vocation. So if you want to know what your main, if you were to work in a particular way, the strongest way you're designed to work is your unconscious Mars, which is over here. Yours is in gate 31. So that's just a snippet. We can I'll send you some information on gate 31.
Yeah, I would love to
learn
read
about
into
your
it more.
vocation.
Yeah, please.
We'll keep moving along. So you're on your way to becoming a role model. So how old are you currently?
43.
Yeah, beautiful. So around the age of 50 years old is when you have that life transition and you step into your role model figure. Your 3 becomes the 6, and you become that role model. You know, your work might change and you don't really have to do anything. It will unfold for you and you get to be a radical example of who you are, and you know, if called upon, you'll be able to share all the wisdom and experience and expansion you've gathered from being 3-line thus far. But what's sort of cool is there might be a lot less painful trial and error because you've evolved from that space, and you'll find maybe a few less bumps in the road.
That would be awesome if there was less.
I mean, life is always life. Life is always going to be like. But yeah, I'm excited to see how that unfolds for you in the next 7-ish years.
Yeah.
What we'll do to finish off is just go over sort of what you've got defined within your centers and what you've got undefined and how the energy flows in your chart. So you've got the top 3 defined because they're connected with these channels. You've got 61 to the 24. So you are a truth seeker. So So this channel is like, I need to know. I can figure this out.
Yeah.
Like it's this pressure. So this head center at the top is a pressure center, and then we have a pressure center down the bottom. So this from here pushes up, and then we have inspiration coming in and being everything with which direction it's come from tries to get to the throat. So this is coming in, inspiration, and the pressure to figure out and explain existence is coming in, and it's all wanting to get to the throat. So you've got that connection to your throat.
Oh, man.
11 to the 56. So you're a person with a lot of ideas as well. Are you a bit of a storyteller?
Not in a negative way, but
like not a liar.
Yeah, I like
no,
her.
but yes, a
like
storyteller.
It's funny, like I see that playing out in my youngest daughter. She's very much she has a intellectual impairment, and she uses story props and dolls and teddies and stuff to really process what's happened in her day. And I was actually just saying to Amanda, I find myself not so much doing that, but just mentally kind of going through things, you know, as I'm going off to sleep, just trying to figure things out. So it's, I've seen that crossover with myself and my daughter.
Yeah, beautiful. So yeah, you've got that pressure to know and to find truth under everything and inspiration. And then the 24 is the rationale. It's where it lands, because the ajna is about conceptualization and sort of putting things in different categories after the initial inspiration has come in. So 24 really grounds it. And then, you've got 11. So it's lots of ideas, and it's this like poetic processing of life. Have you ever written poetry or?
Yeah, I'd love to write.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, then you've got a consistent throat. So you can go and learn about gate 62, gate 31, 35, and 56. And these are the natural expressions you're going to have most prominent coming out of your throat in the way that you communicate. And then you've got a break in your design. So you're what is considered a split definition, because you have gates that are connected here, and then they are not connected to these defined gates centers down here.
Yeah, right.
So what that means is sometimes you just need to hang out with information and life a bit longer before you might understand something. You might feel like there's 2 sides of you that speak to you in different ways, or just do 2 parts of you that speak to you, and sometimes it might feel like something's missing.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely have experienced that. Like there's a piece of the puzzle that still needs to drop in.
Yes. The wisdom is in the journey and understanding that if somebody comes along and they have, for example, gate 16 that would connect your centers up here to the other ones. Can you see with the arrow there?
Yeah.
So right now, do you remember if you have 16, Amanda?
I'm just looking. No.
That's okay. So you will naturally be attracted to people that have the gates that can connect your defined centers, that connect you up. So if somebody has gate 16, they could have a number of gates that make a bridge from these centers down here up to the top ones. This may have played out in previous relationships too. If you're in a partnership, whether they're healthy or not, if you're in a partnership where they have your missing gates, you feel like you need them.
Mm-hmm.
And then it can be one of those factors that makes you stay with that person.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, it's just the wisdom in the journey that there's nothing missing. There's nothing missing. It's just that you have this unique design where sometimes it's going to feel like there's something missing, but you don't need – it's going to feel good to bridge with the right people that are a good influence on you. The, environment is everything, right? So obviously with the right people around you that bridge your splits, that's going to feel fantastic. You're going to have energy flowing all in one. And then there's going to be times where you're on your own and you're just like, oh, something feels a bit missing, and that's totally fine. And with all this human design information, like, don't put pressure on yourself. Just hang out with it without putting mental pressure on yourself to fully digest it all, because you're going to have your own unique non-linear way of digesting it because you have that split there.
Yeah, right.
You're also going to have inconsistent willpower. Inconsistent's not a negative word. It just means you're gonna feel it sometimes with the transits, or if somebody comes into your field that has a defined will center or a defined center where you don't, you're going to absorb that and take that on. And so if you've got someone around you with a defined G center, they're going to provide direction for you. Mm. And possibly that's Amanda. I can't remember.
Yep.
Right.
People with defined G center, they have a consistent sense of self and more of a consistent direction in love, identity, and purpose. So us lovely, undefined G center people, we're just like, oh, do I go this way? Do I go this way? We're a bit unsure about who we are sometimes and where we fit, and we don't fit anywhere. We're meant to have this flowing identity that goes in one direction fully and samples that way of being, and then we can go in another direction fully and sample that way of being, and we have this lovely free-flowing sense of identity. But you do have gate 13. So the main direction of purpose will flow towards being that listener, space holder, healer.
This is so cool.
Awesome. So just quickly with the undefined will center, that's an inconsistent sense of I can, I have, I will, and I'm worthy.
Yes.
So,
yep.
So I have this too. So it's the wisdom and expansion we get to pull out of feeling unsure of if we're worthy or can I do it, is that we can. It's just that that's going to feel inconsistent, and that's okay. And also to honor how much willpower we have and for the right things.
Mm-hmm.
So my daughter has a defined will center. She's always sure of herself. I mean, she's a human. She's a teenager. She has insecurities and things. But generally speaking, she's like, oh, I mean, I would want to date me if I was a boy.
I love that.
There's this consistent, I can, I have, I will, and I'm worthy. And like that triggers other kids. Like, and we've all met people that are just like naturally confident, and it's easy to perceive it as arrogant or full of themselves. But really it's just consistent willpower and this consistent, and they call it the ego center because it's like this sense that I can, I have, and I will. And us, undefined will center people are just here to learn that in a different way. And we we behave in a more humble, we sort of behave in this humble, like sometimes I think I can, sometimes I can't, and I just have this like compassions for human and it's just a bit more laid back. But yeah, 30% of people have defined will center.
Yeah, wow.
And then undefined emotional center, it's white. It's a space, and you'll be the container.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the gift. So when it's undefined, you're more of a logical person. You're not consistently having an emotional wave. So if you had the 59, that would create the full channel and make your emotional solar plexus defined, which would make you an emotional authority. And that's a whole different experience.
Which is why I'm an emotional authority. I have that defined and I have both those channels.
But especially with big decisions.
Yeah,
right.
She's getting it.
I know. I'm picking up what you're putting down, Amanda.
Yeah, that's it. We had that conversation this morning. Kristy's like, I love it. We're going to do this. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I don't even know why, but I don't like it.
Yeah.
So
she just goes, meh, and that's it. And I go, okay.
That's the beauty of it. You know yourself so much. You just know what to say, communicate your boundaries.
Yeah, wow.
But you do have 22, which is the gate of grace. It's this graciousness about you that will be good at holding space for people. It's like this centered part of you, because my friend has that and it's similar.
When you work with a client, do you give them a full report as well?
All the key aspects, and I break it down. But yeah, so the other undefined center you have is your root.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sitting in that at the moment. I've had lots going on with my kids, and where we are living is not conducive, for support, because I've just had all this extra information kind of open up. And it's been this battle of like, but we're here and I can make it work, but I'm sick of making it work, and like I feel like we need to move. And yeah, so that's interesting that you've brought that up.
So with the undefined root, first of all, that's inconsistent pressure to move and evolve. And that is completely, just honor that. There's this pressure that we have to be going and going and going. But yours is frazzled sometimes if other people are putting, and obviously you're a parent, special needs children, that can require some real go and sort of root center pressure. Do you ever like tap into like just, box breathing or something to like just sort of ease that, manage that pressure you might feel sometimes?
Yeah, I'm a big meditator, and this far along into my own work, I'm able to kind of drop in at a moment's notice. But I used to do a lot of heart breathing. Yeah, or call Amanda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
right.
I'm a tool.
Yes, right.
A soundboard.
Yep.
Yeah. Love that. And following your natural ebbs and flow of your energy where possible.
Yeah.
I love the word floater.
Yeah, I do. And I must say, after working with clients and going through a big shift myself, it's either a bath or standing under the shower. Like that element of water seems to be very cleansing.
I would love to leave you with, just really understanding that your movements will be intuitively driven. Your sacral will be intuitively driven. You've got that 57 from your spleen, which is survival instincts. Survival meaning the continuation of humanity for yourself and for the good of all and for your immediate community. Do you find that maybe when you're in the shower or you're meditating is when clarity drops in and something will drop in as well?
Yeah. It's that whisper of you knew it because that's the way forward.
Ready to move?
Yeah, I am, funnily enough.
What area are you in at the moment?
We're in Armidale, so a little country rural town, and I'm from up near Gold Coast, Northern Rivers Way, so we're looking at heading back up that way.
Adorable little town.
Yeah, super cute.
Cool. So do you have any questions to wrap it up?
Not really. I mean, I would like to know for everyone listening how they get hold of you and, how they book a session and what that looks like.
Just find me on Insta.
We'll put that in the show notes. So that'll be easy for people to click on.
Yep, there's a link in bio to book, and there'll be different levels of readings up really soon, a different price point for everyone to start learning and integrating.
Awesome.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Oh, thank you so much.
Cool.
Yeah,
thank you.
I am not a reflector, but I do feel like going, me, I want to turn.
Kristy,
Yes.
float on.
I will.
Yeah, I will listen to my sacral.
Nice.
Thanks, Serena. This was so cool.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever find yourself playing the budgeting game? Well, with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive, you can find options that fit your budget and potentially lower your bills. Try it at progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
Okay, so Kristy, what is one thing that you feel that you've learned about your human design that you didn't know before, and how can you use it in your life?
So anyone that knows me knows that I can be a little bit hyperactive. Like I'm a bit, even when I'm not busy, I'm still busy, if you know what I mean. Like I've constantly got something that I'm working on or a hobby, and quite often it's like multiple things at once. And so one of the things that I'm currently working on is slowing right down. Like if I'm doing something really simple, you know, a household chore or something, I need to connect to what I'm doing and just get it done before I start anything else. And so talking to Serena, you know, hearing that I am a generator and that I respond to things was actually really interesting and made a lot of sense to me, because I do feel like I'm constantly in doing mode rather than just that balance between doing but then receiving, if you know what I mean. Like that's been a really tricky thing for me to learn.
Yeah. So what I'm hearing you say is that rather than having to respond to everything because that's your default way or strategy, and being subconscious, you tend to just go into that. If you can be more conscious about your actual strategy, then you can go, oh, I have an urge to respond, but it doesn't actually light me up.
Yeah, so almost like a vetting process as to what's mine to respond to and what can someone else respond to. It's like another lesson in differentiation of the energy, like what's for me, what's for someone else. You know, what's for me, but is it for me at this time? Or is it for me at another time? So, yeah, it was interesting, actually.
Oh, the old lesson of discernment.
Hey, that old chestnut.
That's right.
Yeah, we've had a few doozies out of that night, haven't we, hey?
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so from a perspective of this podcast is called The Spiritual Shortcut, I want to say that if the world is a reflection of us, and by association, everyone in front of us, everyone we relate to, and situations we relate to, then anything that we can utilize to assist us in gaining more clarity about ourselves and said world around us is a shortcut, because it helps us on our spiritual path.
Essentially, that spiritual path is just getting to know yourself better.
Yeah, that's it. So things like human design and any other modality like that is what I would call some kind of spiritual shortcut, because of that clarity that it can give us of self.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you, for example, are going to be moving forward able to only do, you know, if you cut down all the things that you respond to by 60%, how much more expansive can your life feel by not being cluttered up by all these things that you thought you had to respond to all the time?
Yeah, well, I mean, and instantly my energy then becomes less leaky, and I am able to funnel that light and my energy into things that are really high up on the priority list, instead of, you know, my old way of essentially pleasing everybody. Yeah, it just feels like a really good sifting process.
Awesome. All right. Well, that's good. I hope everyone enjoyed the episode today.
Me too.
And we'll be back in a fortnight.
Yeah, see you then.
Bye. Thank you so much for tuning in to the latest episode of The Spiritual Shortcut.
We'll be back on the first and third Sunday of each month to unpack, demystify, and occasionally make fun of all things spiritual.
Starting with ourselves.
Of course.
Don't forget, those life blocks you've been tripping over are just poorly disguised stepping stones.
We'll support you to laugh, leap, and maybe even do a little victory dance over them. See you soon.
You've done the work to survive. Now it's time to heal and lead. Healing Her Within is your space to break cycles, reclaim your voice, and rise in your power. Through tools like breathwork, inner child healing, energy work, and mindset shifts, we help you unlock the woman you were always meant to be. Listen and subscribe on the Jazzcast Pros Network right here on the platform that you're listening to, because your healing isn't optional. It's your next level.